to my Happy Friday show. Hi everybody! Welcome, finally. Happy Friday. Well, Facebook has done it. They changed something so we couldn't go live in the crew. So we had to go live on the GE Designs page, and we're trying to share it over to the crew so everybody knows where we are and what's happening. So we are a little bit late. So I'm very happy that I made a rather strong one today. Today's cocktail, Happy Friday cocktail, is a passion fruit martini. I had this kind of carton of passion fruit juice, and I thought, you know what? I usually use it in tropical cocktails or tiki cocktails, but this just sounded really good today. So passion fruit martini, there's vodka in here. There's I use kinky liqueur, which has passion fruit and mango and a little blood orange. So there's a lot of citrus flavor. There's passion fruit juice, and then I decided to put just a little bit of dark rum. It gives that little bit of depth to the drink and gives it a little bit of a tropical feel. Just a drop of agave, shake it all up, and top it off with a splash of soda. Very, very yummy, fresh, citrusy, and so cheers. Very good. How's yours? It's all gone?
Yeah,
Mr. HP finished his already.
Facebook stressed me out.
Facebook stressed him out too much today that he chugged his drink. I hope you're having a better Friday. It's been one of those over here. Lots of stuff going on. Kids are going to college, and all of a sudden a lot less workers, so we're just kind of frantically running around trying to do everything. And so yes, this is kind of, I'm happy to sit down. First time since I think 8 o'clock. So it's been a really great week. If you missed last Tipsy Tuesday, it was a great show. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from it. By the way, if you're new here, if we always have new viewers, welcome. If you're here on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you post your name and where you're tuning in from in the comments. Always fun for us to see where our viewers are viewing us and watching. So yes, Tuesday's show we had, I talked kind of a little bit about how I kind of, my philosophy of picking fabrics for my patterns. So I'm trying to make it easier for folks that, have trouble with how to pick patterns, how to put them together, how to put the fabrics together. Is it okay to mix fabric lines? How many fabrics do I need if I want a scrappy quilt? And all of those little things. And so if you missed Tuesday's show, you might want to go back and watch it. So easiest to find it is go to our website. The Tipsy Tuesdays are listed there with a direct link. You can also go on YouTube, and we have a whole playlist of Tipsy Tuesdays. So you can check it out there. Now, did you find those covers?
I kind of did.
Kind of did. Otherwise, I was going to show you kind of bits of it. But maybe later on, if he de-stresses a little bit after all of that. But it was really great. I also showed some fabric that some of it disappeared real fast, and others we have a little more of. Now, the rest of the week has been, like I said, it's a transitional week. My daughter starts virtual learning on Monday, and Adam, her boyfriend, left for school this week, and so his first full week, and he has been working for us full time, so that was a loss. And so it's been quite the week. I've gotten a lot done though, so I've been moving. I'm kind of excited to maybe take a little load off this weekend. I've been prepping all of the Fast and Furious projects, of course, for the season 2, making sure all the kits are going to be ready to go. And yes, so this next Tipsy Tuesday, you're not going to want to miss it. We're going to launch the Fast and Furious Club season 2 and show you the first 3 projects that will be for September, October, and November. And I, of course, wanted to have some color options. So I think for the first project, we'll have 4 different color options for kits, and then a couple for the next one. So you're gonna want to see it, and I need to just stop my brain sometimes and let it be, right? Let it be. But oh, I see he found the little slide. So let me show you just how we broke it down on Tuesday. So I kind of grouped my patterns into 4 categories, and that kind of determines how you would kind of pick fabrics for it. And then I'm going to dive deeper into each category in future Tipsy Tuesday episodes. And we're going to go kind of like give a whole lesson on how I pick the fabrics, how I mix them, which ones I eliminate, and things like that, and the reasons why, so that you can kind of replicate that. So first grouping was the Scrappy Goodness patterns. So those patterns are just made to let all the fabric shine. You don't need any other fabrics than either strips or 10-inch squares, 5-inch squares. So there's no background needed. They're just, the beauty is in kind of balancing all the shapes and colors of the scrappy fabrics. And then we have the next grouping, which is scrappy with an accent. No, not this one.
Which one?
Next one. Next one.
They're not in order, so.
Scrappy with focus. So this is kind of similar idea. So scrappy fabrics, either strips or squares or something like layer cakes, but then there's always an accent color or an accent fabric that kind of pulls the eye in and makes the pattern stand out. So again, same thing, everything needs to be balanced, and then there's a little bit of an art to picking that focus fabric and focus color on what really brings it all together and brings focus to it without being too harsh.
This one or this one?
This one, the Kira one, yes. Third grouping was scrappy with contrast. So those are blocks that you need to create contrast within the blocks to be able to make the pattern stand out. So you can do that with color, you can do that with value, or you can do that with the actual pattern of the fabric. And again, I'm going to go deeper into this and explain. So contrast just means you need to be able to see the difference between the 2 fabrics or sometimes more that you put into each block, so the pattern will really shine through. And then the last grouping is scrappy with a background. So those fabrics are meant to, so background is just meant to be that negative space that you create with a singular background fabric, whether that's light or dark or any kind of color, but that also just emphasizes all the scrappy fabrics and makes them all shine. And so the background is just meant to be really calm and kind of let the fabrics shine through. So does that make sense to you? I showed a lot of my different patterns that would go into each of those categories in last night's show. So it's kind of a little bit of an introduction. And then in future episodes, we're going to dive deeper into each one. And I am really looking forward to that. So any questions coming up? You can probably pull up questions since we're in the GE Designs Facebook page, can't you?
We're not going there.
Well, we're not going there. He's a little stressed out with all the tech issues. But I wanted to talk about the quilts behind me. So we have the Tail Feather Runner, which was from Fast and Furious Club Season 1 from last year. Actually, it was January project. Behind me is a quilt that's called Valerie. It's not the cover quilt for the pattern. It's a quilt that I've had and we've been using it. Actually, it's one of our car quilts. And so I showed it because it was just excellent part of the show on Tuesday. And so I thought, oh, this is worth hanging. And then this one over here is an Emma quilt, actually made by one of our members, Connie. Thank you. So she made Emma out of the Holiday Heartland bundle. And since we didn't have anything made out of it, and I wanted to really show the fabrics and how, Christmas is coming, and I wanted to do some photo shoots on some patterns. And so she was so kind to us to let us borrow the quilt. So I'm going to photograph it and do some fun posts with the Emma quilt. But I thought it was just perfect because the squares are big enough to show off the large scale prints. And I always think it's really fun to cut large scale prints into skinny strips because you see all these different colors in a skinny strip like that. All right. Margaret is asking, is the Nina Supersize quilt only a PDF? Yes, for now, but it is at the printer. So hopefully we'll be getting both Harmony and the Nina Supersize in a paper version by the end of next week or the following week, hopefully. So then we can market it to quilt shops as well. All right, so lots of folks with us here. That's great. Somebody's cleaning. why you would use a happy Friday to clean. That would not be my choice. But cheers to you if you're cleaning. You're better than me.
I did some cleaning.
You did some cleaning? Yeah, he did some cleaning.
Cleaned out the trash can.
I cleaned out the trash cans. God, I love that. He's a keeper for that because I can't stand that. I'd actually been looking at it every time. It's like, this needs to be clean. And then just magically it gets cleaned. It's that mind control, right? I've been working on it, mind control.
So what you're saying is actually you cleaned it.
Yeah, I cleaned it through you.
That's amazing.
That's pretty amazing. Okay, Debbie's asking, what size pieces does the Valerie start with? Yeah, 10-inch squares, yes. 10-inch squares, and then you need an accent fabric. So it's that light fabric that I use for an accent. Otherwise, it's 10-inch squares. All scrappy.
They missed the drink, someone said.
Missed the drink. It's a passion fruit martini. Very good and very tasty. Oh yeah, we can put up the recipe again in the corner. So are you excited for Tuesday? I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what you think of all of the work we've been putting into it. And we've been recording the videos, and it's going really smoothly. It's interesting for me to see how long it takes me to make those projects from start to finish. So we're going to do some experiments once we launch things, and I'm going to ask you how long it takes you to do them. Because everybody's telling me I'm probably 3 times faster than everybody else. And I don't know. I don't believe it. But I know I'm probably faster because if it came from here, it's easier to make it happen in real life. Okay, so Kathy has just got done working. She's having a drink and listening before supper. Cheers, Kathy. Happy end of the work week.
Look how Facebook just freezes. I don't know.
Yeah, Facebook is just acting really weird today, so I hope you guys are okay. But if it's freezing up on you on Facebook, hop on over to YouTube. We are there too, so hopefully that is going much better. Now if you are completely new to Fast and Furious Club, all of those projects are Quilt as you go. I just wanted to mention that they're all small projects. We have a new one every month, so you get on the 20th of each month you get a pattern that is exclusive to the club. You can't get it anywhere else, and a video class of me making it with you from start to finish. And we'll talk on Tuesday more about all the different tools that I find helpful with Quilt as you go. Of course, not needed. You just need basic things. The only thing that is kind of important to have, and you can start researching that if you don't have one, and that is a walking foot for your machine if your machine doesn't have a dual feed system like the FOF and some other machines do now. The newer machines, some of them have a dual feed system. But I love this walking foot I have on my new Baby Lock Solaris. It is incredible. It's night and day for me to sew on the 2 different machines now. So I'm just in love with making Quilt as you go now. It's really awesome. All right, Vicky's asking, do you always use the bolt fold or do you match up your selvages to straighten your fabrics? If they are really crooked off the bolt, then I do iron my fabric and make my own bolt fold. So I will fold it again and make a crease myself so that they're semi-aligned. And but if they are pretty straight, I just use the bolt fold. Then I don't even worry about it. I still press my fabrics, of course, before I cut. Clyde is finishing a king-size quilt binding this weekend, so you must be binding it by hand. That's awesome. I wish I had time for that. Sometimes it's just calming to sit and do binding. I used to always have prep stuff if I was on the road. I was in the car or sitting somewhere waiting. When the kids were younger and I had to sit through 5-hour gymnastics meets, that was a perfect place to take your binding projects. Jackie asks, are you going to get the upgrade for the Solaris? No, I know there was the Baby Lock convention this last weekend, but I was not even able to check in on it. So I hear there is an upgrade. I don't know if that's a new machine or if it's just a software upgrade. I think it's just a software upgrade. So I don't know. I have to check it out. I probably have to, right? If there's new stuff. Would it be too much of a struggle for a beginner to do the skinny strips on the Emma quilt? Oh, no. Of course not. So my patterns are all about, we cut it up, we sew it back together, and then we cut it back up and sew it back together. It's really, really easy. Don't be scared of those skinny strips. Very easy. Kathy's working on machine binding. Do you start on the front or the back? So if you're going to do machine binding, when I do machine binding, I sew it to the back of the quilt, flip it to the front, and I stitch it down on the front. So either just a straight stitch, kind of catching it, or I do a little tiny zigzag stitch. If you want to learn more about that technique, I have a video. So on the website, go to videos, tutorials, and there's a whole video on how I do my machine binding. So check that out.
301 can hear you.
My 301 can hear you. Can you hear me? Ooh, Karen, do you got any new ones? Pamela says, is the Solaris walking foot like the FOF IDT? No, it's this big old thing and it has a roller. It's really incredible. There's not even a bump when I'm sewing through 10 layers of fabric. It's incredible. It's really, really great.
Maybe can we get some of those peanut butter cookies?
Baked. He asked me, he said, ask Linda. I'm like, what are you talking about? Linda, can we get some of those peanut butter cookies you made this morning? Mr. HP wants some. Is this now the next thing I have to try and make? Peanut butter cookies? Maybe you should make some peanut butter cookies. What?
I just put some peanut butter
on a cracker?
Yeah.
Peanut butter on a cracker. That's his...
On a club cracker.
A club cracker. No. That does not sound good.
Yes, it is.
Well, I wanted to tell you another good one. So another stressor is that Mr. Honey Producer has been taking over some more jobs in the company, and he now is claiming that he is the IT department. So
why are you stressing out? I'm gonna be perfect.
I know. I trust you. Except for the fact that I haven't been able to access my email for the past 3 hours. So he's switching something with my email program.
Don't send the email.
So if you sent me an email that was urgent, and just know I hopefully will get into it later today.
You're trying to make an excuse for why you're not going to answer someone.
No, you know I answer emails. But yeah, just know that. I'm just hoping that it's just the 3 hours, because yeah, it's going to be about 3 hours until it's all rolls over. Yeah. Okay, Mr. IT department. So I think he's collecting jobs. He wants all these different job titles. So IT department is now his newest one.
We got to stay lean and mean.
Lean and mean. So he's the producer, video producer, or department head. He's the video department head.
IT department head too.
And IT department head now too. He's also the trash department head.
Yeah, and cleaner department.
And cleaner? Cleaning service department?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I might need to make a call to the cleaning service department.
Job security. Hey, that's what someone said. Job security.
Job security, yeah. Yep, lining it up. So if one fails, he knows he has something to fall back on.
I can name the patterns, but I won't be designing them.
You can do what with the patterns?
I can name the patterns.
Oh, he can name the patterns, but he won't be designing them. You can trust him on that. So he won't get into my department.
Don't worry about that.
Don't have to worry about that. Oh, that's funny. All right, that's just a little bit of our fun banter, but I hope you are having a great Friday. Now, one thing I showed you last Tuesday was the Harmony labels are in stock now. So we have them printed on fabric from Spoonflower. So these are available in the store, and what I put on it, so it's just the label that is also available as a download if you wanted to print it yourself. But now it's on nice cotton, nice white cotton, and it trims down to about 7 by 8 inches, right? Didn't I say that? So yeah, 7 by 8. So we'll finish at you can make it finish at 6 by 7 or so inches. So some other new stuff in the store I wanted to talk about is we have Prismachrome is back in stock. So this is one of our kind of becoming a basic bundle. We've sold through it so many times. So Prismachrome is 12 different colors with that texture. I used a lot of this for my colorful harmony quilt. And then I actually have been using these dark and gray ones too. I used it for the binding on my other harmony. And then also in stock now is the Reef Bundle. It's all cut up and ready to ship out. So this was a really popular one about 6 weeks back. We sold out of it really fast, so we have more now. So that's back in stock. On Tuesday, I showed you we had one of our new ones is the Provisions. So the Tim Holtz Basics. So they're kind of like a grungy, like his ink blot, like his ink colors, if you know about his paper crafts. And so really a cool texture, kind of a dirty one. Sometimes we just like it a little grungy and dirty. So distressed, that's Mr. HP's least favorite word. Why buy anything distressed? That's a whole nother conversation. And then I wanted to show you, so you guys remember we have the Fat Quarter Bundle for the new Bumbleberries Fall Winter colors. And so now we have a lot of those colors available in the 1 yard. So they are just fresh in the store. I kind of just picked the colors that I think would be great as accents, really deep, rich fall, wintry colors, so that we have some stock of that. But of course, because it's a seasonal line, they will, once they're gone, they're pretty much gone, but we have quite a bit of stock in these. But all of these colors kind of go with all of the fall and winter Lewis and Irene fabric lines. So this is a Lewis and Irene Basic, the Bumbleberries. One of my favorites. I love the different variations of value in each print. So very good accent. Now, do you want to see the new stuff yet? Or should we chat some more? Should we answer some more questions first?
Ask some more questions.
Yes, and then we have to have a winner too. Have to pull a winner. Elisa is asking if you will be teaching. What will he be teaching? That would depend on that.
I teach you how to test if the recipe is dusty or not.
He can be a recipe tester. He can teach you how to test for dustiness in cookies and biscuits.
Someone said that.
That's great. Love the label. Got mine. Everybody got their stuff already from Tuesday. That's really good. Will Mr. HP be packing fabric too? Velma's asking.
I do that already.
You do that already? He has done it already, actually.
Patterns.
I made him do some things because, you know, if you want to work here, you got to know how everything works.
You didn't necessarily make me.
I didn't make you, but I asked you, and you did it.
I'm a good packer.
You're a good packer. Okay, let me just show you this new stuff. I'm too excited about it. So we got this new fabric line in called Apricot and Ash. We had gotten the charm squares earlier, charm packs. So the bundle is here. Unfortunately, we didn't get as much as I had hoped, but the bundle colors that I chose. So the full line has more than these colors, but as you know, I pick my bundles and I refine what is in the bundle, what I want in the bundle I kind of pick the colors that I like and then make them really balanced in both scale. So we have the largest scale print here. I love this. This color is called Ash, Apricot and Ash. So we have these and then medium to small scale print and then a tone on tone. I just love this color. It's a really great basic color. And then we have the apricot. So we have the large scale print in the apricot. And then the medium flowers, which is a lighter. I like that. I like to have different hues. And then we have the tone on tone, which is the darker. And then a diagonal plaid. Really pretty. And then I chose that green because I just thought this green, it's really kind of fresh. It's a little bit brighter, limier than what she's done in the past. Medium. And then we got the diagonal plaid and the tone on tone. So this is the Apricot and Ash bundle. And then we received some of her panels, and these are really interesting. These are actually kind of applique blocks. It's a huge panel. So in total, there are 24 different blocks. So this is an extra wide. So as you open this up, it actually measures out to be about 36 by 55 or 60 or something. So you could literally take the panel and make some borders if you like quilting, and you can really kind of accent all of those blocks and just really make them shine, make them look like they're really applique. So kind of a cheater quilt. But you could also cut them out. So you can cut them out and they could measure out to be finishing anywhere between 8 and 9 inches, I think. And so, for example, you could throw this into a quilt with blocks like the Emma quilt behind me. Because that's an 8-inch finished block, so you could just throw these every other or whatever. You could do just a square in between. You could do a rectangle in between them, sash them. You could do a log cabin block between them, just all kinds of things. And so we have it with the ash background and then also with the white background. Well, it's kind of like an off-white background. So we have not too many of these, but beautiful. If some of you that have kind of known me for a really long time may remember that I have done 2 fabric lines in the past that used kind of blocks like this. And so one of the things that I did with them, I just I just got this idea, thought about it today and didn't have time to work on it, but I think it would be cool. So what I did with these, I actually cut them apart and I put them into a piece block. So in the corners of a piece block, and they just really kind of transformed, and it was kind of really fun to work with. So maybe I'll try some of that and show you guys next week. I know I got this little remnant. We had a little remnant, so I can play with my remnant. Maybe this weekend, we will see. But we have just a few of these, and I'm sure they're going to disappear fast. But those of you that like that kind of look of those vintage applique blocks, I just think, and don't want to do the work, this is a great option. And of course, you could always just cut it into, you know, a section of 4s, so like, or even runners. So you can cut it into rows and just quilt it, put a border on it. You got little table runners or placemats or table toppers for gifts. So lots of options for this one. I think that one was really cool and unique. So that is all that we have new today. We have, of course, lots of stuff coming next week. Of course, with the launch of Fast and Furious Club, all of those kits are going to be available on Tuesday to order for the first 3 months of the Fast and Furious Club. But just know there was a bit of a confusion last week on Tuesday about the Fast and Furious Club. You don't need to buy a kit, so you can just purchase the subscription. You can get 9 months, or you can get just 3, or you can purchase individual months, and that is just the pattern on the video. You can pull your fabrics yourself. You will get the fabric requirements for the first 3 projects right away when you purchase either the trimester or the 9 months, and so you can kind of have plenty of time to plan and pull from your own stash. But of course, if you want kits, we will have them available, but they are always very limited numbers, and they usually disappear pretty fast.
So the ones from last season?
Do you guys want to see the projects from last year? We showed them on Tuesday, so really quickly. We showed them last week too, I think. So I don't think we need to show them, unless they really want to see them.
Somebody might. How much for the Fast and Furious kit cost?
The cost of the Fast and Furious, it'll be similar. We always have a special when we launch, so for the full 9 months. So make sure you tune in on Tuesday for that. I'm not going to give out all the details today, but we will have a special on the 9 months, and probably the rest of it will be similarly priced to last year's. So you can actually still look at season 1 is still available and will be available, and we'll have a whole new grouping on the website for season 2 of the Fast and Furious Club. But do we have a winner? Did you get your winner ready? Let me have another drink of this cocktail. Darling Felling. Darlene or is it Darlene or Darling? Felling. Congratulations. That's an awesome name. Really cool. congrats. You have won a $25 gift card to the GE Quilt Design store. So we will get a hold of you, or if you see this, make sure you email me or send us a message on Facebook, and we will get that gift card rolling so you can go shopping. Anything else we need to talk about?
Someone said, yes, I would like to see them, please.
Oh, you want to see the... Okay, let's run through them real quick. It'll be fun, a little memory lane. So we'll start with the Take It Easy runner was our first one. We did 2 colorways. It's just a charm pack and binding. That's all you need for this runner. And then in October, we did the Boo to You table runner. Really fun for Halloween. And November was the Noel tree skirt. We did the full-size tree skirt, and then we had an option for a smaller one, which was like a tabletop tree skirt. This is Winter Beauty. This was our December project, so we did 2 toppers. Really, really nice. Great for like gifts because it was kind of like a larger candle mat size. And then we had the tail feather runner that is hanging on the shelf behind me in the other colorway. This is the blue and green colorway. Good Times runner we also did in 2 colorways, the gray and then the black. That is a really quick one to make, just fat 8s and a focus fabric. Spilled Beans was our March project. So this was perfect for Easter if you wanted to be like rolling eggs or whatever. Low Tide was April. Lots of fun strip with a method called Sew by Number. And then May Baskets was our May project with just a little bit of fusible applique. Maybe a little more than a little bit. A lot of it. But it was just so pretty. So I couldn't stop. It was so pretty. It's always, sometimes more is better, right? Many times more is better. So our next show will be, of course, coming Tuesday, September 1st. I can't believe it's September. It's kind of sad because I saw the school bus driver on the neighborhood. You know how they practice their routes before school starts? Because in Minnesota, we usually, or in our area, we don't start school until after Labor Day. And so it's like that time of year when they're testing their routes. But I think most kids are going to be virtual learning, at least to begin with here in our area. At least the older schools. I don't really know what the elementary schools are doing, but I just hope everybody is going to be safe in school and taking lots of precautions so we can hopefully get out of this pandemic at some point. But so we will be live, of course, 7 p.m. next Tuesday. That show will be fully focused on Fast and Furious Club. And then, of course, the following Friday, follow up our Happy Friday show, which I will give you an update on the IT, my new IT hire. See how that goes.
I'll quit already. I'm done.
Oh, boy. No, don't quit, please. We need you. We need you, honey. Elaine is asking about the pattern behind me. It's Emma. The one on the wall, the one on the ladder in the corner is Valerie. So, yes. Do we use the Stripology ruler for the projects? So in the videos, I always show you how to use the rulers, but of course you can use any rulers. There's not really much specialty stuff to do with the with the Stripology rulers, but of course I always show how to use it because sometimes I will do something that I tend to do that maybe will open your eyes to, oh, that's a cool way to do things. So I do that. Will we see the projects all at once or just monthly? So Cheryl, we introduce 3 at a time. So for when we launch this season and this first trimester, you will see the 3 projects in that trimester. And then in November, we will launch the second trimester, then you'll see the next 3. But if you purchase the 9 months, exactly, you will only see the first 3 when you get to purchase that. You're kind of taking a chance on the rest. But I think most people that bought the 9 months last year weren't disappointed with the rest of the projects. What fabric was used in Emma? Oh, I wanted to show you. So it's the Holiday Heartland fabric. We still have some of these bundles. We sold a lot of it. It was a really popular line. So it's all kind of red and white and a little bit of touch of green. So they're kind of like red and white quilts and barns and red trucks. So really a cute line with lots of basics. So I feel like it's more wintry than it is like Christmas. So I think it's just really a pretty, very classic red and white with a touch of green kind of fabric line and quilt. And Emma seems to be just a perfect quilt for it. So thank you, Connie, again for letting us borrow it. But I think that's it for us today. We need to go to the grocery store. The fridge is empty, so that's a task. That's a task. I think, isn't there like Merlot cheese to be bought and club crackers? And some
cheddar cheese popcorn.
Oh, white cheddar popcorn. You haven't heard about that.
Not just any white cheddar.
You haven't heard about that white cheddar popcorn addiction. We'll talk about that later. Yep.
Is that all he does is eat?
That's all he does is eat. Well, that's it for us today. We're going to hurry on over to the grocery store before you all buy all the Merlot cheese. Before you know about the popcorn. Thank you, all of you, for watching and staying with us this Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take it easy, get some sewing done, and I'll see you next week.